Well, hello and happy mid-April. I'm here at the ocean, just north of the Oregon-California border, a place called Lone Ranch. It's one of my favorite spots. Behind me, you can see the tide pools, some of them that are here. It's low tide. I was just harvesting some nori and some bladderwrack seaweed. I'll have to come back for some other ones on a minus tide. But I felt like it was appropriate in terms of the concept of free food. At this time when I've been hearing a lot of people complain about the prices of groceries and seeing it in the news a lot, and as someone who has been growing a significant portion of my own food for over 35 years now, in terms of vegetables, fruits, herbs, and meat and eggs, dairy for a portion, milk goats. I don't do that anymore. I wanted to talk about that concept, and it's been part of a conversation I've been having with a number of folks in my community and online through messaging and my various networks for a period of time now, and it feels particularly prescient in terms of world events, global affairs, global supply chains, and the distinct possibility that food may become more expensive in the near future and maybe stay that way. And as a farmer, I've been earning my living as a full-time farmer for the past 31 years. I think food should be more expensive, to be totally honest, because most farmers I know are not really enjoying the same standard of living that other people who do a similar or reduced amount of work to farming enjoy. So that's a whole other topic. But what I really wanted to get into was what's in the way of you growing some of your own food. And I wanted to break down just how simple it is. And the most fundamental level, it's sun, soil, water, and seed. There's those four things. Four ingredients that go into plants. Then we can get into some more challenging things that are numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, like irrigation, fencing, a greenhouse or cold frame, some way to start those seeds that you're transplanting out if you're not direct seeding everything, and some of the other impediments. But first, I want to return to the principle from permaculture, that is, we design from patterns to details. And another thing that I think about in terms of this comes from Rudolf Steiner and biodynamic agriculture, and that part of achieving higher states of consciousness, more awareness, is building a bridge from willing to action. A lot of us, we can summon the will forces, like, oh, I need to go to the gym, I need to lose weight, I need to eat better, I need to start a garden. And that action is harder. And like Lao Tzu astutely said, is unless you change direction, you're going to wind up where you're going. And I see a lot of folks that want to complain about things, hem and haw about whose fault it is, or even be in that willing state. The intent is valuable, but unless you begin doing tangible actions, you're never going to get there. So what are those tangible actions? And I've been intrigued with this because our seed company, we've seen our sales mostly like flatline the last couple of years since COVID. And in comparing notes with other friends who are in the seed industry, they're seeing the same, if not a decline. Some of the bigger seed companies are actually witnessing a decline in their sales, which is really ironic when we consider that all over we hear about how expensive groceries are. We see a ton of memes all over social media all about how expensive groceries are, and yet it seems like very few people are willing to do anything about it. And so if you are in this camp where you want to do something about it, what I tell people, because I'm back in the season where I'm going to the farmer's market, I vend once a week. This time of year in Ashland, soon I'll begin doing one in my community in the Applegate doing 2 markets a week, but it gets me into that interface where I'm talking to more people, and I sometimes joke, I call that my office hours in town, because I'm answering gardening questions all day long, or life questions about, taking care of land and stewardship and that kind of thing. So one of the things I've started with, and again, back to the permaculture principle, if you start small, you harvest small mistakes. If you go big, you might have big mistakes. So if you're new to all this, I'd say start with your salad garden. Because for one, eating more salads is probably going to be really good for you. And the salad crops grow quickly and are easy to grow, and you don't need a greenhouse, generally speaking. You can direct seed all of them. And for a lot of folks, you can just go out there with a shovel or a digging fork and dig up part of your yard. Shake out the grass, because you want to get rid of that, make a compost pile and compost all the grass and the roots. Maybe you'll need to amend with some compost. You can go to any garden center, get some composted manure. That's what I would recommend. Don't trouble yourself with really fancy soil mixes. And just start growing by planting seeds right in the ground. Just make a little furrow with your finger or a stick or a tool and sprinkle some arugula in one furrow, lettuce seed in another, kale in another, some mustards, both the mild and the spicy, and maybe do some other things like Swiss chard. And while you're at it, you might as well get some cilantro in there, which is more of an herb, but it grows from seed really easily. And other easy ones in there would be radishes and beets, turnips. Carrots are a little trickier. If you can keep them watered, they're not that hard. But just start growing some salad crops. Get some, if you don't have a good setup to grow right in the ground, buy some tomato starts, some cucumber starts, summer squash starts, and all of a sudden your salad is getting more abundant. And you can grow in containers if you need to do it that way. Let's say you don't have good soil. Where I'm at, either through Facebook Marketplace or any variety of means, you can get plastic 55-gallon barrels pretty easily. Drill some holes in the bottom, fill them with soil, and cut them in half, that kind of thing. And you could be planting into those really easily, and you could even be in an apartment, do that on your balcony or your concrete porch. But start small and achieve some successes there. If you're really concerned about actually making an impact in your grocery bill, I would say grow calorie crops, and those would be ones that are rich in carbohydrates. Potatoes, winter squash, obviously all your salad crops and the fruits, but when you really think about what's going to be feeding you more long-term, it's those kind of things. Or tomatoes and the ability of doing tomato sauce, or cucumbers and make pickles. Think about long-term, so that instead of opening up your pantry and being like, oh, I'm out of food, then I need to go to the store. You open up your pantry and you look at mason jars full of tomato sauce, salsa, hot sauce, pickles, pickled green beans, that kind of thing. And then you're going to start making an impact in your grocery bill, but also your health and your well-being, because gardening is one of the best things you can do for your mental health. Being outside there, you're directly engaging in solutions, planting seeds that aren't food yet. I mean, you could eat those seeds, but they will become future abundance for you. So then you have to have faith, and it opens you up to that relationship with the Creator, that you have to believe that they will grow. And you have to do your part too. You have to be out there checking for bugs and slugs, who's eating things, is frost coming, do I need to harvest, should I be planting more? I've got a lot of resources on our Siskiyou Seeds website. We have maintained a pretty extensive blog, and our YouTube channel for Siskiyou Seeds is full of all kinds of things, because I want to see people be successful with having that relationship with the garden, growing their own food, doing it with friends and family, and sharing the abundance, because that puts you in the orchestra of creation, of that you are a creator, you're producing something, you're working with the elements and the earth, and you are in the dance, and it's beautiful. So I wanted to take a moment, just because I came out here to the ocean today on Sunday. This is part of my church, and I brought a couple buckets, and I was out there harvesting seaweed, and there's so much. There's almost nobody here. This spot on a Sunday, in the summer there'll be 50 cars here. Today there's like 3. And I've never seen anybody else harvesting seaweed here. And there's so much that I don't even make a dent in it. It's like this cove you see behind me, there's 5 more coves that way and 5 more coves that way, and it's just so full. And most of it's underwater most of the time. And I think that compelled me to think about how abundant and gracious the earth is with us. And our Creator God blesses us every day with sunshine and a new day for believing in something beautiful to happen, and for your troubles to be solved if you can just put one foot in front of the other and take responsibility for yourself and your family and your situation. And so I want to just leave you with that and pray that you and your family are blessed with peace and health and happiness. Thanks for listening to me.